There's 32 teams in the NFL, all fighting for that one spot and being the best of the 32 teams. Does anybody know what's the best team in the NFL? Are we talking about the history on how the New England Patriots became the great team they are today? I looked through books, magazines, all over the internet, and I'm personally a Patriots fan since as long as I can remember. I'm sure that everybody has a favorite football team considering it's football season. Today I want to share with you on how the New England Patriots started out their franchise, where they were in the 2000s, and where they are today. The New England Patriots franchise started in November 16, 1959, as they got their original name as the Boston Patriots, a team without a home stadium, just a name and a little start. A few places they started out is Fenway Park, which is on top, home of the Red Sox, and Alumni Stadium, home of Boston College. Not much of a team at this point, but they played in the AFL postseason. They have played several teams in this team. One of the biggest losses was the San Diego Chargers, where they lost 51-10. And the Patriots had merged into the AFC East Division in the 1970s. That was the rise of the Patriots. In 1976, they became in as the wild card, and in 1978, they became AFC East champions. But they would lose twice in the first round. This rough start for the Patriots would soon have a great turning point on a rising start with the team, and would be heard of several years later. In the 2000s, the New England Patriots, they had made one of the best decisions they could make. As they hired head coach Bill Belichick, one of the greater coaches in the NFL. He has coached for the Patriots in 5 Super Bowl appearances, winning 3 of the 5. Also in the 2000s, a new home stadium would appear into play, Gillette Stadium. A new home field was a huge advantage for the Patriots. A place where they could have their fans come and watch their home games. The stadium was built and finished in the 2000s. A massive outdoor type of stadium holds up to 68,756 people. The Patriots are currently one of the best teams in the NFL for their outstanding offense and their rock-solid defense. ESPN Talk host Chris Berman says, with a record of 3-3 this season, they still have a fighting chance to make it into the playoffs. In my personal opinion, I think the Patriots might win the Super Bowl. They currently have beaten some teams, Tennessee 34-13, they beat Buffalo 52-28, and they also beat Denver 31-21. These are all outstanding teams that the Patriots have beaten. The New England Patriots also have a variety of great players on their team. From their quarterback Tom Brady with a record of 39,979 passing yards, and with Rob Gronkowski, 6'6" tight end, and their massive D tackle, Vince Wilfork. He's weighing at 325 pounds. These are a few of many of the players that make the team what they are today. Well, so today I talked about the Patriots, how they started the franchise, what they were in the 2000s, and how they're currently doing today. As you can see, the Patriots are one of the best teams in the NFL.
So Amanda, what did you think?
I thought your intro was okay. I liked how you had good stuff to say, but sometimes I got a little lost and the transitions weren't the best. I didn't really know where they were. And I thought some pictures you had were good, but I honestly don't know anything about this football team, so I don't even know like what they look like or like what even their jerseys look like, so I can like recognize it, and I didn't see anything to see like who they were. And that's it.
All right. I thought you identified the topic pretty well, and you had a clear thesis statement. There's a good structure of the speech. The opening though is a little problematic. You have you look down the whole time you're speaking, and especially at the beginning of the speech, that's when you're trying to connect with an audience. You really need to know your opening and talk to the audience at the beginning. They'll forgive you a little bit if you've got to look for information later on, and you've got to break eye contact and disengage from them. But if you, from the very beginning, don't engage with the audience, I think you end up in a bad position in that relationship, and you're trying to build interest in a subject that you're enthusiastic for, so you need to connect with the audience as a consequence. I thought the setup was pretty strong, but I didn't feel like you developed that early section very well. The whole AFC, AFL part of the Patriots, that 10-year period that they were there, I think that went in about a sentence and a half. It just felt like there was barely anything there. And then once they realigned and they were in the NFL and the way it was developed, you mentioned 2 playoff appearances, and is that all that happened in that time period? What was their record? Did they have any great players in that time period? Were they known for anything? And I think that you got a good comment here from Amanda about the problem with, what did the team look like? What's their logo? What were they known for? You talked about the stadiums that they played in, for instance. How long did they play in all of those stadiums? It sounds like they went from playing in Fenway Park to playing at the Boston College Stadium, and then I guess in the 2000s they started playing in this Gillette Stadium. And I don't think that that's right. So if you've got... if they played all their home games at the Boston College Stadium and up until the 2000s, I'd be really surprised about that. But that's the way it comes across when you're talking about it. And if you're going to bother giving us kind of an itinerary of those things, you need to develop that a little bit. And I thought that was missing. I have no idea why we're getting a picture of Chris Berman. And I know. Maybe some people like the way he looks. I'm not sure, but the quote is fine. I think that that's okay. But to me, the picture of Belichick was important. I'm wondering why we didn't get a couple of images of some of those players that you mentioned, maybe even with a stat or 2 stuck on them. Tom Brady is not just the quarterback of the team. He's also been MVP in the league. He's also holds the record for the most touchdowns thrown in a single season. I mean, those are pretty important kinds of things, and that stuff can be interesting to people. So you could put a lot more into the speech. It just feels a little bit underdeveloped, like we got soup instead of a meal. Sorry about the analogy, but it's tasty, and what's there is okay. But I need something more than just tasty broth and a couple of vegetables. I need something with a little bit of meat on it and something a little more substantive, and that's missing from your presentation. All right, thank you.